JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, another Portland wanted man captured. The Portland police have reported the capture of 19-year-old Mark McNeil, otherwise called Bunny, of Wayne Road, Port Antonio on Tuesday, March 29. McNeil was wanted for the offenses of housebreaking and larceny and escaping custody in January 2021 and 2022 respectively. It is reported that McNeil was in the hospital for treatment when he escaped custody and was on the run. It was subsequently captured in a raid at a premises located at Bermuda Lane, Port Antonio, between the hours of 5:30 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. The owner of the premises was also taken into custody for questioning. Superintendent in charge of Portland, Kenneth Chin, commended the citizens for their support in the capture. Through the assistance of the citizens, this is the second wanted person arrested in Portland within the last 7 days. The first being Portland's most wanted Avian Bryan, who was arrested on March 23. This brings a total to 6 wanted persons or persons of interest taken in custody in the parish since the start of 2022, Chin said. With the cooperation of our citizens and robust operational activities, as of March 29, 2022, Portland is experiencing a 56% decrease in serious and violent crimes when compared to 2021, the superintendent added. We urge the citizens of Portland to continue to work with us to keep Portland the safest parish in Jamaica, he said. 29-year-old man shot dead at candlelight vigil in Manchester. A 29-year-old man was gunned down at a candlelight vigil in Manchester on Tuesday night. The deceased has been identified as Dino Stewart, a resident of Caledonia Boulevard in Mandeville. A report from the Constabulary Communications Unit said about 9:50 p.m. Stewart was shot dead by a gunman on Sweden Street near George's Plain in the parish. The police were alerted and Stewart was taken to hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Woman shot in face at party in Westmoreland. A woman remains hospitalized in serious condition after being shot in the face at a party in Westmoreland on Tuesday night. According to preliminary police reports, the woman, who has been identified as 26-year-old Latoya Campbell, was a patron at a party in George's Plain when she was shot. The incident happened at about 9:30 p.m. She was rushed to hospital shortly after. The Morgan's Ridge police in the parish say investigations are ongoing. Stabbed Petersfield student released from hospital. The 15-year-old Petersfield high school girl stabbed in a fight with another this morning has now been released from hospital, where she was being treated for her injuries. Police investigators said the incident occurred shortly after 8:30 a.m. while the students were at school. One female allegedly removed a knife from her underwear and stabbed another female student during an altercation. Both students are said to be in grade 10. About an hour later, 2 other female students got into another fight outside the school gate, which was also quelled by other students and members of the administration staff. The dual confrontation forced the school administration to close the institution at 10:30 a.m. when the police and parents of the 4 students involved in both fights were called into a meeting. A third incident took place outside the school grounds. This was also diffused by students. Government accused of making criminals out of cops, while making it clear that he is not on the side of criminal cops. Jamaica Police Federation Chairman Corporal Ron James is insisting that the government has made its employees susceptible to illegal activities because of the less than livable wage paid by the state. Corporal James was speaking against the background of last Friday's arrest of 4 constables suspected of being members of the Ronca gang. The criminal organization is also said to be headed by a member of the constabulary who was arrested on a previous occasion. In February this year, Jamaican policewoman Shelley Allen was officially indicted by a South Florida grand jury with importing cocaine into the United States with the intent to distribute the illegal substance, some of which were allegedly found in her vagina and stomach. If convicted, she faces up to 40 years in prison on each count. Allen was suspended from the Jamaica Constabulary Force following her arrest early in Florida in connection to lottery scamming and drug trafficking offenses. On Tuesday, Corporal James, in China Way from directly pronouncing on those matters, said, "Once investigations uncover any unprofessional or criminal conduct, then the system works for itself. I don't try to interfere. But you hear me out there saying that I believe it's an injustice when the government, our employer, seeks to tie the hands of us members of the constabulary force from performing at optimal levels, because we know that with the resources and with the remuneration coupled with the technology, we'll be able to serve the public and the populace at large without compromise." Added James, "In every organization you'll find persons who will breach and will indulge in conduct bordering on criminality. However, with leadership and the supervision and proactiveness, then we can at least bring those to book." Asked if he was making a case for people who are not compensated sufficiently to become criminals, James said, "I'm not saying that. And I would never say that. All I'm saying is that it is incumbent that the government prioritizes the health and well-being of the members who are at the forefront. Naturally, if that is done, it takes care of 95% of the task at hand. If you take care of the staff will take care of the business and the client in turn. Noting that the cops so far fingered has been on the wrong side of the law are all constables, who earn $82,000 before taxes. James said notwithstanding allowances for expenses like housing, salaries are still poor. In operating principally, you can't cause somebody to be operating at a deficit and expect that everybody is going to have the moral compass to stand up against corruption when you have made them susceptible and vulnerable, he argued. The logical conclusion is, take care of the welfare and the well-being, and you will afford those with the capacity and the integrity to operate within the framework of the law to bring those in breach to book, James added. Cops, in addition to their basic pay, receive allowances for uniforms, housing or rental, motorcar, bicycle, motorcycle upkeep, and in instances, entertainment and utility, which are borne by the state. All members of the police force are allowed attendance and medicine free of charge from government medical officers in their respective divisions, but this concession does not extend to their wives and families. Medical attendance includes operating and room charges, all necessary surgical treatment, lab and X-ray examinations. Members of the constabulary are forbidden from soliciting or accepting presents other than the ordinary gifts from personal friends, whether in the form of money, goods, free or reduced passages, or other personal benefits, and from giving such presents. JCF to deploy 55 police as school resource officers. Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson says 55 police officers who have just completed training as school resource officers will be deployed in schools across the island where activities among students require preventative measures. Its announcement follows several violent and deadly conflicts involving students in schools across the island, including the fatal stabbing of Kamal Hall on March 21. Hall was a student at William Knibb Memorial High School in Trelawney. 2 days later, a grade 10 Papine High School student succumbed to gunshot injuries he received while walking on Ligoni Avenue, St. Andrew, in a reported robbery attempt. On that same day, a third student was injured, this time a grade 11 student of Excelsior High School in St. Andrew, after being stabbed at the Mountain View Avenue institution. According to Anderson, the police are responding and treating the symptoms of these issues that have evolved in a bigger way with the return to in-person, face-to-face school. Schools are opening up back face-to-face, and conflicts will occur. We're responding in a very significant way to this challenge that we're facing, said Anderson. I went to meet with 55 officers who are just trained as school resource officers to equip them to get involved in this issue in schools. Part of that is to respond as law enforcers, but then an equally significant part of that is to be mentors to the students in the schools, he stated. The police commissioner was speaking at the recent groundbreaking exercise to rebuild the Anchovy police station in Anchovy, St. James. The station was closed in 2008, having fallen into disrepair. Since then, the police have been accommodated as a section of the Anchovy post office. Meanwhile, the police commissioner said efforts are being made to stem those problems at schools and other domestic issues through domestic violence prevention centers. He noted that up to last Friday, a team of officers from the Trelawney Police Division were undergoing training on domestic violence in order to help citizens resolve disagreements. Jamaica reports 8 new COVID cases, 2 deaths. Jamaica reported 8 new cases of COVID-19 and 2 fatalities on Tuesday, according to the latest statistics from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. This pushed the total number of cases of the virus since the start of the pandemic to 128,735 and the death toll to 2,884. Of the newly reported cases, there were 6 females and 2 males, with ages ranging from 17 years to 98 years. The cases were recorded in St. James 5, Hanover 1, Kingston and St. Andrew 1, and St. Anne 1. Meanwhile, the latest deaths are a 66-year-old woman whose death was recorded in March 2021 and a 67-year-old woman whose death was recorded in August 2021. 3 more deaths were reported as coincidental. The country also recorded 68 new recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 81,054. The positivity rate for the latest round of testing was 2.6%. There are 28 people hospitalized, none critically ill. There are 189 confirmed active cases on the island. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.